we could talk about the whole Kanye situation, right? With him talking about how his cousin slurped him up or whatever. I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. This is not uncommon when it comes to living in the hood because kids be doing weird stuff like that when they young, bro. Like I used to see kids running around outside doing weird stuff when I was a kid, but it was like more of like when you're like 5 or 6, like super young and you don't have a moral compass yet. It's like kids just do weird stuff like this. And in the hood, a lot of weird stuff like this goes down. But a lot of the time, black families and Latino families, they want to keep it in the family. Like they don't want nobody knowing what happened. It is what it is. And they just brush it under the door or brush it under the rug. When it comes to incest, molestation, whether it's like an uncle touched a young girl, whether it's two young kids touched each other, like all that stuff, they try to kind of, put it under the bus, or hide it under the rug or keep it in the house, so to speak, keep it in the family. Don't nobody need to know. Don't nobody need to know that so-and-so is gay. Don't nobody need to know that your uncle is a pedophile, so blah, 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 blah. That stuff happens a lot, bro. And when you lived in the hood, like I lived in Mexican hood, white neighborhood, and the black hood. It was like 3 cities next to each other that basically was like a melting pot like that. They were all like literally like 10 miles, 15 miles away from each other. And I carpooled through all of them and lived in all of them. So it's like when I was a kid, I used to see weird stuff like that all the time. Weird stuff like just kids doing weird shit. When I was like 5, 6, 7, 8. Matter of fact, probably up until I was about 11 or 12, kids used to do weird stuff, bro. So it doesn't surprise me that that happened. You know what I'm saying? And that he's saying that, even though I do think it also has to do with the fact that, bro, his mind has been gone. Like Kanye lost his mind about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I really truthfully think he lost his mind, you know, when his mom passed. I'm not gonna lie, because that is a really big toll on a man when your mom dies. Like your mom is your rib, like your mom is your backbone, your mom is your heart, your mom is your first love, no weird type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when you lose your mom, and your mom birthed you. So it's like when you lose your mom, you lose your mind, you lose your soul, you lose a lot when you lose your mom. And I'm not sure if I'm right about this, but I don't think his dad was ever in his life. But that's always how it is in the black community. Our dads always leave for whatever reason. I guess they don't like our parents or whatever. I mean, they don't like our mom or whatever. But whatever the case may be, they never truthfully like to stand up. A lot of black dads are cowards. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. They want to be the most gangster hood people, but also want to be cowards at the same time. It makes no sense. But anyway, yeah. So I 100% believe that that did happen to Kanye. It's crazy that his cousin is also in jail for life. I think for killing somebody. I think I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. Um, but Kanye is hurting, and Kanye has been hurting for years. And Kanye wants attention, and Kanye wants affection. But I think, and I've went through this too, where it's like you want affection, but you don't want to be affectionate with anybody because you don't trust or like nobody. And Kanye is a Gemini. He's an air sign, so he going through a little bit of air sign madness. But he's going deep into the rabbit hole of it. Like he goes through the madness so much to the point where, I mean, bro is dressing up like a KKK member. Bro is trying to, find any and every way to get attention. But he's always been kind of attention seeking. But now it's just kind of like it's devolved into a bunch of just madness. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, just stick to the music. Stick to the music. Just make fire music. But now you're making songs about having incest with your cousin? Like, that's just weird to me, bro. Like, why are you... Even if that happened to you, I would have left that... I would have took that to the grave, bro. Like, why does anybody need to know that? Why are you telling all your business? But again, it might be he has so many thoughts in his head that he can't share with nobody, to the point where he's like, I'm just going to tell everybody, and he thinks that he's not, he thinks there's two things he's trying to do. It's like he's trying to do it because he thinks that it's stronger to not keep it in. It makes you more of a man. But it's like he also doesn't want the criticism that comes with it. And he's also, just falling into madness and just devolving into madness and melting into madness. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's a combination of all those things, man. And it's like sometimes I feel bad for him, but I actually understand his mindset, you know. I understand the craziness and the wackiness of, you don't trust nobody, you don't like nobody, you want affection, but you don't want affection from nobody because you don't trust nobody type shit, That's how I feel like it is. And then it's like your brain is so full of so many thoughts, so many ideas, so many past memories that you can't even keep it to yourself no more. And to a certain degree, I've kind of become like that a small bit, from being a teenager to being an adult. Like sometimes some of the stress is just too much, you know what I'm saying? Even though there are parts of my life that are pretty easy, I think my life is pretty smooth right now, but it's just dealing with other people is what burns me out. But like, comment, subscribe, follow your boy. Tell me your thoughts on the whole Kanye situation. Peace and blessings.